What's going on YouTube? Two Wheel Gardener. Early in the morning, try to get this video out of the way. Started at least. Gonna talk about sweet potatoes since last year. That video, the 5 gallon planting video, got a lot of views. So let's say last year you planted sweet potatoes. You may have gotten a lot of sweet potatoes. You might have not done so good. So instead of maybe cooking everything or just giving them to whatever or doing whatever with them, save a few of them. These are a few I saved. These are the smaller ones. As you can see, they're growing slips already. These purple little pieces are new plants that are growing, pretty much new plants. What you do from there when you want to start them is stick them in a mason jar, a plastic cup, or anything like that. Put some toothpicks around it, stick it down in the water. As you can see, it's starting to grow new leaves. Same with this one. Obviously they're missing the top of them because there's a way to tell top from bottom. I don't really care to figure out which side is which, because you can just cut the top off and keep it growing. These are some of the tops. As you can see, it's full of roots. If you put yours in water like this and it's growing the new plants from the top, you need to cut it off. Now, if you stick it in the water and the bottom and the roots are growing from the bottom and that's where all the roots are, fine, just keep it like it is. Because what you really want is for the roots to grow out of the slips right here. These are the sweet potato slips. These are new plants. So on this one, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4 new plants growing off of this one. And this is a bigger one off. Like I said, you want the roots to be in the water so they can start growing their own, the stem to be in the water so it can grow its own roots. And here's another one. This is the bigger one. And so hopefully I'm going to get them in some dirt today. Might not be this early in the morning because I got to go to work. It might have to get done later on this afternoon. People say you can start these with potatoes out of the store also. I tried it before, it didn't work for me, but a lot of people say it does work. So if you get potatoes out the store or out your garden, stick it in the water with toothpicks, it'll start growing roots. Now say yours doesn't start growing roots and it starts getting like white, moldy, squishy, throw it out. There's no need to even try to keep going with it because it's not going to do anything. It's just going to rot. Try again, maybe go to a farmer's market or something like that to try to, you know, get your potatoes started. When you plant these, each one of these little slips is what they're called, is a plant by itself. So you just pop it off with the roots and everything, you stick it in the ground, and we'll go through that real quick. So in this bucket, there's black cow manure and Miracle-Gro potting mix or whatever. And all the white stuff is perlite. Couldn't get it in my head. The perlite helps breaks up the soil, like, and gives it a little bit more so it can drain better. So you just mix all this up. Help improve your drainage if you have very compacted soil or anything like that. This will help when you get your plants from the store. and it has all those little white things in it. That's what this is. A little much, but hey, it'll work. So now, once you get that in there, what I've come to find out is that with 5-gallon buckets, 1 to 2 plants maybe. I'm thinking I'm going to stick with 1, and some other buckets I might pick 2. When you have a larger, maybe 20-gallon bucket or anything like that, you can put 3 in there and get a decent, they can have enough room to grow. But in 5-gallon buckets, I feel like maybe 1. I mean, some people might do a little bit different, but from my own experience, I think 1 is 1 to 2 is good enough. So when you take this, you just literally grab it by the little stem right here, and it'll pop off like so. You want to get all your little roots off, and there you go, your own sweet potato plant. You dig yourself a little hole just like you do in the other garden. If you haven't been doing it, just dig yourself a little hole, stick it down in there. Hold up, dude. Dig yourself a little hole, backfill it. Fill it around, make sure your plant stands up decently. Don't want to cover too much of the bottom. And there you go. You got your own sweet potato plant planted that you started all by yourself from your sweet potatoes from last year. I'm going to put fish mix on this as I do with everything. I'm going to go ahead, I think, and put 2 in here. And then in my last bucket, I'll put 1. So we have 2 buckets with 2 and 2 buckets with 1. And we'll just test our theory out again. These grew so close together. Like this is really, I believe, 2 slips, but they're so close together that I'm just going to plant them all together. Try to put them a little bit over here. Just making sure everything's tight. And the only reason I say you don't have to fill all the way to the top is because last year the potatoes might have grown down to maybe here. It wasn't filled to the top. When I dug them up, the potatoes aren't all the way at the bottom. The roots will grow all the way to the bottom, but the potatoes are near the top, per se. Top to middle of the bucket is more than enough soil to let them grow and do their thing. And so in this bucket I have, this pitcher is my fish fertilizer mix. This does not burn the plant. You can use it on the plants when they're this small. Well, they're not young, so you can use this, and I use it on everything anyway. So if you hear me talking about this fish mix, this is what it is. If you do have dogs, or cats that stay outside, this will make them come to your garden. So be warned, if you use it, it's going to stink up the yard, and your dogs are going to try to come in your garden. unless they have some self-control. And if you have raccoons and all that kind of wildlife, they will be coming, because it really smells like fish. It's very strong, but it seems to work very well, so I use it. So to recap everything, I guess you could say, when growing your sweet potatoes, save, if you grow sweet potatoes if you've grown sweet potatoes the year before, save some of them, or you can go get some from the store and start them from there. If you get the ones from the store, try to go to like a farmer's market or anything like that to get your potatoes. When you get them home, you're going to stick them in some water. Use toothpicks to, you know, leave part of it out the water, part of it in the water, and the roots will start to grow. You should start seeing root growth in about a week to a week and a half. If you get a potato and it starts turning white or anything like that, getting mushy, toss it out, try again, because it's not going to do anything. Once you start seeing root growth, you'll start seeing little branches like so coming off of them, like this. That means you're up to a good start. It took mine about, let me see, I started these on like the end of March, so let me see, in about 2 to 3 weeks you should have decent growth to about this point right here. So it might take all to about a month and some change to get everything going the way you would like them before you can put them outside. And so when you go to put them outside, just follow the rest of the video. Outside, just grab your slips, pop them off, spread the roots, stick them down in the dirt, push it around, pack it back in there tightly, and then you pretty much, you know, planted your sweet potato slip. And that's all you pretty much have to do to plant your sweet potatoes from start to finish. And then you gotta wait a long time until October, November, around that time, September, to pull them up. When the vines start turning yellow, you can go ahead and pull them up. You can be impatient and pull them up a little bit early, like I did last year, because I've been impatient. You'll have sweet potatoes, they won't be as big possibly, or they might be big. It's up to you to pull them when you want to pull them, when you think they've been in there long enough. You can, you know, dig down in the dirt and see what you have. But hey, if you plant them in buckets and you be impatient, you can always say, pull one, see what you got, and then leave the other ones and see what you have. And also use this fish fertilizer mix. Like I said, it's stinky, but it works really good. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment, let me know if you guys have any anything to help me, I guess you could say, anything to help make what I'm doing go a little bit easier, because I don't know everything. So hey, if somebody knows something a little bit more than me, let me know so I can, you know, get better with what I'm doing. All right, thanks. 2 Will Gardner out.